Hello everybody, Handy Camper here, and
Wifey Camper.
what are we doing today?
Making a white wine cake.
A white wine cake. This is a favorite of the holidays. Let's see if you guys can see that or not. Maybe. I will post it down below, the recipe. We've had this recipe for a pretty good while, and everybody always requests this for my wife to make this around the holidays and birthdays and all kind, any occasion really. So what do we got going on for this white wine cake?
Well, we need to preheat the oven to 325.
I'll take care of that right now. 325.
And we need to grease a bump pan.
So oven is preheated to 325, and she's going to grease the bump pan. What would you like?
I want the pan with the baking powder.
The baking powder. This is what she's going to use.
Did I buy another one?
I think so. That should be enough.
For this one.
You're putting it on kind of thick, aren't you?
It does that.
Oh.
It is thick.
Oh, it's got the
It's
powder.
like a powder.
Still. Yeah.
Flour in it. And I just got that all nice and greased, and we're just going to put that out of my way on the stove.
Right. I'm going to get out of your way, too. I'm going to stand over here. I got this microphone on, so we're trying my new microphones.
It's really easy to make. You just need a box of yellow cake mix and a...
Yellow cake mix.
Well, it says a 3-ounce box of instant pudding, but sometimes I just do the big one.
Did you need the big one?
I use either one. It says for the 3, that's 5. It's just like 2 more ounces. It's fine. And we're going to use my KitchenAid mix here. We ain't even got the scissors in here.
So the recipe calls for a 3-ounce Jello vanilla pudding, but she's got a 5-ounce. So, and I don't know if. Do you always use the 5-ounce?
I think so.
Well, maybe that's why it tastes different from the one I remember the first time it tasted.
It just depends. I use what I have. But I start with my dry ingredients first.
Dry ingredients, putting the pudding and the cake in there. Now, do you usually use Duncan Hines for this, or it doesn't
You can
matter?
use any. It does not matter.
You don't have a preference?
My preference, I like the Duncan Hines.
Oh, okay. You heard it here first.
I only do the Jello brand pudding.
You don't do the store brands?
No. Because it tastes different. I mean, you may not can tell it in this, but for me, I'm not doing it. Okay. Then we need, I like my dry ingredients. I need to get 1/4 of a cup out.
I'll move that out of the way for you.
Yeah, it can go in the trash. 1/4 of a cup. A 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar. I know I've got it right here. You can use light or dark brown sugar.
Do you usually use light, though, don't we? Or have you used dark before?
I usually never buy dark, so it probably is usually light for me. 1/4 of a cup in there. And 1/4 of a cup of white regular sugar.
Oh.
It's going to be interesting. How much oil is that, baby? I'm going to be making a trip to the store.
How much you need?
I need a 3/4 cup of oil.
Guess what?
Oh, whew.
We got some.
Oh, thank goodness.
We'll have just enough.
I'm going to have to go get more, though.
Oh, well, you should have enough.
Because I got to make 2 more of these cakes.
That's a
1/4 of a cup of white sugar going in. But I just realized that.
So we've got the brown sugar in, and we got the white sugar in.
And I think I got it up here. Ground cinnamon, 2 teaspoons. Two teaspoons of ground cinnamon.
What was that look for? Are you about out of that too?
I'm getting low on
I think
that.
there's another one in there, isn't it? maybe.
I don't know. I'll be having you look in just a minute.
That's 2 teaspoons.
2 teaspoons. Now we need the wet ingredients.
Now you're going to add the wet. You got to mix the dry ingredients or anything? Or?
No, I don't have to. I'm going to need the glass measuring cup. And let me get some eggs.
Do you need the small one or the big one?
Small one. Let's find those eggs that I have like 1 left.
That's the 1 cup measuring cup.
Yeah, it's easier. I know I have 1 egg left in here. I'll just use this to put the eggs in. It's 4 eggs.
Get a little closer here.
Oh, and I got some shell in it. Let me give you a spoon. Got the shell out. For me, I like to do 1 egg at a time. Just in case I get shell in it. Like I did.
Yeah, it makes it easier to get it out, huh?
Uh-huh. 2. 2 eggs. Number 3. Just to tell you, I didn't realize how expensive eggs were till I got some at Walmart. I mean, Food Line yesterday.
Well, we get eggs all the time. What do you mean you don't realize how it's?
Because I had to have so many, I guess, and
yeah.
I don't never buy the 18 count. But the 18 count of eggs at Food Line yesterday was 5 something, and I had to buy 2 of them. And I bought a 12 count, and that was like 3 something. I just couldn't get over it. 4 eggs are in there. What those? Oh, I'm gonna need my white wine. It's in the thing.
Which side is it on?
The right. Now we got the eggs. Now we need 3/4 cup of oil. That's what we're getting ready. What I've got. This is the one that had food in it.
You're making a mess.
This is going in the trash now. Oh, goodness.
That was our cooking.
That was, but I just made a mess with it. Let me rinse this out now.
Okay.
All right, now we're going to do 3/4 cup of vegetable oil.
What do you mean now?
You said you were cutting it. Yeah, I'm going to need a vegetable oil. It's got a little bit left.
I thought you had everything on your list.
I guess I totally missed seeing oil on this list.
Everybody that's watching this, give us a thumbs up if you like our my wife's country accent.
Hi,
I remember somebody saying that in
seriously?
an older video of us cooking something.
And you need 3/4 cup of water.
Three-fourths cup of water.
You got my oil? I mean, my white wine.
It's right behind you.
And you need a 1/2 cup of white wine. I have tried different white wines. Sometimes they do give it different flavors. But it really it's not that big a deal. Because this is just a cheap Winking Owl Moscato from Aldi.
We used to get the, was it the Duplin
It's
brand Naughty and Nice this time of year? But it's hard to find sometimes, and that's actually a really nice tasting wine as well.
It's
sweet white wine.
Over $10 a bottle. Yeah. So for my recipes, and since I still had this on hand, I'm just using this.
The Winking Owl from Aldi, and I think it's only like what, $4 or something
it's
like that?
It's like $3 something. It's really cheap.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm using.
All right.
All right.
So far we've got 1 box of yellow cake, 1 box of instant vanilla pudding, 4 eggs, 1/4 cup brown sugar, 1/4 cup white sugar, 1/2 cup white wine, 3/4 cup of oil, 3/4 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. I think that's it, isn't it?
You mix all this together and bake for 1 hour at 325.
All right, let's get to mixing.
And then we have to make a glaze.
And as my wife always says, it's always a good idea to use the shield. And why I'm laughing is because she just turned it on and it kind of went flying everywhere. I forgot to put the shield on.
It helps.
Let's see.
I just slung it everywhere.
Let's try that again.
And then you can take it off because it's...
After it gets going, yeah.
Because it mixes nicely.
So we're going to let this mix for how long?
Just until it's
well combined?
Yeah. Correct.
Correct. And we'll get back with you on the next step.
It's mixed pretty good now, so we're good.
That was just a couple minutes.
Yeah, you just got to get it all combined.
And I'll tell you what, these microphones are really cool too. Had a company send me these back about a couple years ago, I guess, and I'm really just now really using them. It's been about 2 years almost, I guess. 1.5 years, something like that.
Actually, I need to mix it a little more. There was a chunk. It's kind of good to stir it a second and then mix it again.
I'm going to mix it a little bit more.
Just for a minute.
Some of the powder that was on the sides, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to get right back on there from my mess.
This thing has come in so handy, this KitchenAid. My wife loves to.
And I have attachments for it to make coleslaw.
And after this, we're going to make some more butter, so we might do another video on that to show that.
And we're going to make a key lime pie that is really easy.
So we might have 3 videos coming out. Cooking with the campers here.
Cooking for the holidays.
Yeah. The white wine cake is always a hit.
So many request it. I'm actually having to make one for my mother-in-law just for her. She wants the whole cake.
She don't want to share.
Mm-hmm. After I go to the store and get more vegetable oil.
Oh, is that all you need?
I'm making a list.
Checking it twice?
Yes, I am this time. I can't believe I didn't even realize I missed seeing oil on the list.
And I've got to tell you guys, if you've never tried white wine cake, it is amazing. And I will definitely put this down in the description if you can't see that. Or can you?
It's really easy. And even the glaze making is really easy.
I'll definitely, if you can't see that, I don't know if you can see that or not, but I will put it, let me see if I can change it. I can't change it with the recording.
Okay. Let me get this stuff out of my way. I'm going to need this spoon. Now we pour it. Actually, I might need a floured. I'm going to get some of that while I'm going.
Okay.
When I go to the store.
Another cool thing about these microphones too, no matter how far you walk away from the camera, as you're still talking, it's picking everything up is equal. You know, it's just really cool.
And we pouring it.
Pouring it into the butt pan. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
The butt pan.
See, sometimes you still got to mix it some more.
The bottom.
I got it.
Some of the bottom didn't mix too good there. There's a little powder in the very, very bottom.
That's all right.
She kind of mixed it as she went through.
And this smells so good. It is pretty sweet.
Especially with the glaze, with the icing.
Because you put white wine in the cake, in the mix, and you make a white wine glaze for it. We'll be making that here in a few minutes while this cake is cooking.
I'm trying to think of the way it tastes. It almost tastes holiday-ish to me. I don't know what.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's got like that kind of.
That smell too.
The vanilla-y, cinnamony. Mm-hmm. And it's really good.
Where it slid down
You're not
the side.
cooking unless you get a little on you, right?
Oh, I've already got it all over this apron. I already got it all over my KitchenAid too.
I see that.
All right, we're just putting this in the oven for...
Let me get you down there so you can see. She's got it in the butt pan.
And it's going in the oven for an hour at, what do we say, 325. And it usually does take an hour. Going in. Let's set a timer so we don't forget. We'll be back in a few to work on the glaze for the cake. Oh, I was like,
The shadow.
well, you got that little square. I was like, what is that?
It tracks your face.
Oh.
Like when you move and stuff. Like.
Oh, okay. Crazy. Now we got 15 minutes left on the cake, so we're going to go ahead and start making the glaze. It is a stick of butter, a cup of white sugar, and 1/4 cup of white wine. You boil it for 2 to 3 minutes, stirring occasionally, and you let cool slightly, and you pour half of it on the cake while it comes out and it's still in the pan. Then you let the cake cool, turn it out, and pour the remaining all on top. And I like to dust mine when it fully cools with powdered sugar.
Even though it soaks in, you can't really tell it afterwards.
When it's really cool, it does.
When it's really cool, yeah.
You can
So I'm going to get you over here to the pot where she's going to do her thing.
A stick of butter.
Tell you ingredients as you put them in. What you got? Stick of butter?
Stick of butter. I need to do a cup of sugar. I got 1/4 cup in there, so I'm just going to do that. I ain't got the burner on yet. 1. 2.
Also, leave a comment down below in the first half of the video when we're mixing the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients. In the KitchenAid, Wifey Camper said she didn't realize she didn't check her hair. So let her know in the comments down below how her hair looked at the first part of this video.
I still ain't checked my hair.
I thought that was kind of funny. So I didn't even check my hair.
I didn't. Did I say 1/4 cup? I think I did.
I done got her messed up.
1/4 cup of white wine. You did.
So we've got a...
Hey, it's okay if you go. I always say that. And the wine.
So what do we got in there so far?
We got everything. We got 1/4 cup of white wine,
Okay.
a cup of white sugar,
Yes.
and a stick of butter. Oh.
So we're going to bring this to a boil. You're going to bring it to a slow boil as you're mixing everything and it's melting.
Put it on 4. That's usually what I do because it says boil. Once you get it to a boil, you boil it for 2 to 3 minutes.
I'm sure you could burn that pretty easily too if you let it get too high.
I have never burned it, believe it or not.
Stuff like that's really easy to burn, isn't it?
It's really sweet,
Yeah.
but it's so delicious. I should show you the cake. How it's
And that's all you put in there?
oven white.
I thought it had like some kind of vanilla or something in there. In the glaze.
I was thinking there was vanilla in the cake. It sure ain't, is it? You're making me go back and look at my recipe. It is not. No vanilla anywhere.
So there is no vanilla anywhere.
You want to pull that camera down? And we'll take a peek at this cake.
I will zoom into that. Ooh, check that out. It's looking good.
I probably should have took a little out of it and put it in a small one, but it'll be okay.
So that's got about 11 minutes left for that.
So that's the perfect time to start with the glaze. If I get it going, I do got the right burner on. I'm pulling a handy, checking my burners because he always puts the wrong one on.
Be cooking. Why ain't this cooking?
If they ain't got these little things, it might be bad.
They don't know what you're pointing at. She's pointing at on the burners over there.
To know which burner is
It
what.
shows you which one's which.
I'll cut my oven light off now.
Symbols required. That is a lot of sugary, buttery goodness, isn't it?
I know, I didn't realize it was a cup. I forgot.
Whew, cup of sugar.
But it's delicious.
So I would probably say if you were diabetic, this cake probably wouldn't be a good fit, huh?
But you're gonna see my parents all in it.
Yeah, both her parents have diabetes. That's not good though. Have to eat it in moderation.
Well, my dad has a sweet tooth.
I know. All right. We're going to let that do its thing, and I'll be right back with you in just a moment.
Most of all the butter's melted. Oh, it is melted now. I've started cutting it up a little more because it ain't started boiling. We need it to start boiling so we can boil it for 2 to 3 minutes. So it should start boiling any minute.
I would say probably just stir occasionally for sure.
Here it comes.
That way you don't burn it.
Well, you'll see how it does in a minute when it really starts boiling.
So last year we had some wild blackberries, and we were going to make some blackberry jam. And you're supposed to bring it to a boil, and we just let it boil for just a second longer than what we were supposed to. I guess
there's not a we in that. There's a handy in that.
So
it was not me.
And it burnt pretty fast.
It burnt fast, bad.
And it was going so good that all of a sudden, just in a split second, it turned and burnt.
Can they see it good?
Let me get you in there.
How it's getting. I'm just going to stir it a minute. It'll kind of start turning clear, like stuff.
It'll start clearing up.
Oh, yeah, I need to start timing it. Well, there's 4 minutes on the cake, so we're going to say... Now it's 3 minutes.
It's up pretty good, huh?
It will. It'll kind of start, like, kind of a little jellyish, but not. And let it boil.
Let it boil, let it boil.
Might cut it down a hair.
You're going to burn it.
I'm not.
I'm afraid now everything's going to burn. You got to stir it.
Occasionally.
Have you stirred it?
I hate, y'all probably can't see my face, what I'm giving him. Does that make it better for you?
That did make it better for me. Thank you. Thank you very much. That put my mind at ease a little bit there.
Did it?
I did.
Smell it. Buttery, sugary
goodness.
Wine.
I don't know if you take this to a church event and it's called a white wine cake. I don't know if a lot of people eat it.
Oh, the wine cooks out of it.
Nah, no.
I know my mother-in-law can't never remember what it is. She's like, I don't care what's in that cake. I need the whole thing. She loves it. Which I think I've only made it for her once.
We bought her pieces and stuff and some other ones.
Oh, but yeah, she always wants to keep the cake.
There you go. It's been about 2 minutes.
Still got one more. I need it to boil more. Well, good timing.
You got to take it off the heat?
Because we're going to be taking it. No. Because it's still doing it. Because we're going to be pulling that cake out in a minute. Oh, it is time now.
Yep. So she just turned the heat off. Let me back you out a little bit so you can see a little bit more here. She just turned the heat off. Yeah. Do you need to remove it from the heat or anything?
That's why I was going to find me a thing. If I can reach back here and find one to sit it on. I'll find a Halloween one. I'm going to get it off the heat. Don't put the cake there.
And I'll back you out a little bit more so we can see the cake coming out here in just a second.
Oh,
all the ingredients over here for all the stuff we got to make.
The glaze is just
Let me get you a close-up. Hang on.
Just yellow.
And it cleared up quite a bit there. A yellowy, sticky goodness.
That's what I was going to say. 2, 1. Here it comes. Better check it though. It's hot.
You think?
Oh. Let me move this cast iron.
She gets mad at me sometimes for all the cast iron around on top of the stove.
And then he gets mad when I stack them on top of each other.
Yeah, don't want to scratch.
They gotta come out of my way.
My cast iron.
They gotta get out of my way.
I'm gonna get you a little close up of that.
It is done, so let's cut the oven off.
Nice golden brown.
Let's cast iron out of my way. Because it says to let the glaze cool slightly, and you'll see it kind of gels up. It ain't really.
Kind of gels up a little bit.
Like the top
It
layer.
thickens up a little bit, yeah.
But now, since we pulled the cake out, we're going to pour half of the glaze on it. But I was trying to get this hole ready, so I don't go all in the thing.
Do you want to put something underneath it? Just in case. Probably a good idea, huh?
No, I got this.
I
got this.
Okay.
Half of the glaze.
Half of the glaze.
Give it to you. See. If I pour
That's going to go down the burner, isn't it?
No.
You sure?
Yes. I'm on the edge. Trying to do the...
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of glaze.
It is a lot. I think that's about half, maybe a little bit
Yeah,
more.
that's half.
You think that's half now?
Yeah. I think you usually have some left over, don't you?
Well, I usually just pour it in the middle hole. You ask. That's usually what happens. But what I'm going to do is try to get it to go down in there.
You know you want to take a look at that spoon, don't you?
You know I do.
Yummy.
I like to make sure I got glaze everywhere on it. And in the cracks and crevices.
Oh, soak in really good, huh?
Yeah. And then you gotta let it cool. I just wanted something to go in that corner, those cracks where it's, now you can't even tell. And see, it goes down. You know, it was kind of puffy, but I pushed it down a little bit and with this liquid. We let it cool.
Does
and
it
then
come out pretty easy when it cools?
Oh, yes. We'll make sure to show you.
All right, well, we're going to
Well, with this pan it does.
Oh.
This is my favorite.
Okay.
It is a Wilton.
A Wilton pan, huh? A Wilton bundt pan.
With the little decorations on it. And it'll be beautiful.
All right, so we're going to let that sit for a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. And then we'll get it out onto a cake pan and do the rest of the glaze. So you guys stick around and stay tuned for the next clip.
It's still kind of warm, but I want to go ahead and dump it in the cake pan.
She had mentioned this is a cheaper cake pan.
Oh.
And this one is kind of like, has a recess, I guess you'd call it. So this is perfect for this kind of cake because it'll catch on that little ice and stuff.
Because believe me, my other cake pan, my one, I ain't got it. Oh, it'll go down in the cracks and it makes a huge mess.
Let's see how she did.
Right.
Oh, how about that?
Look at that.
Let me see.
The
Perfect.
flour Pam spray.
Flour Pam spray. Let's get you a little close up of that right there real quick. Oh, that looks good.
We're just going to let it finish cooling.
And then we'll put the rest of the glaze on top.
I'll show you how the glaze is looking right now.
How's the glaze looking? Bring it over here.
Well, it actually ain't too bad. Sometimes it does. But if you look at it now, it kind of looks like a yellowy white, clear. We'll leave that to cool.
Okay, we'll get back with you in just a moment when we do the rest of the glaze on there, and we'll be done with that one. All right, so we're finally at the last step.
It's still kind of warm, but it's going, I mean, because it's getting, we should have already put this glaze on. See, sometimes I put it on when it's still a little.
So we're getting the glaze on, the last little bit of the glaze, and she's just going to let it just kind of fall on there everywhere. Don't that look so good? Let me get you a little
Because it's going everywhere. It'll go everywhere.
Let me get you a little close up of that, guys. While she's doing that, let me get that camera just right.
And you'll see why I put it in the hole in the middle, because it already fallen in that hole.
Yeah, that's like the magic, the magic hole. When you get a piece of cake, you get you a little knife and grab some of that icing to put on the cake. Mm-hmm. You gonna put all that on there?
Already there.
Wow. I'll get you guys a close-up here. And I like this, even though it's a cheaper cake pan. Where's my finger at? There it is. It's got that recess, so it all catches down in there. I can't see you on the camera.
All good.
Wifey camper's licking the spoon. Let me show you what she's talking about. The hole in the middle there. It all runs down in there. But there's the cake, guys. This is the white wine cake.
One more step.
And she's got one more step she wants to do. Let me back out just a little bit so they can see.
Ready?
You ready?
My powdered sugar.
Powdered sugar right
Now,
on
if
top.
it dries where it's still a little warm, I will sprinkle some more on this in the morning.
Wow.
It just
That
makes
looks,
look how pretty.
That looks so good.
I just said that kind of weird.
That's all right.
Yeah, I know you'll see all the icing, but that, oh, it's just so good.
Show Wifey Camper some love and give it a thumbs up.
So pretty.
Let her know how she did in the comments, and I'll let her know and let her read it. Well, that's probably going to do it for the white wine cake, guys.
Yep, lid going on.
I appreciate you coming over to watch. Well, this particular video has probably been long enough as it is. So, with that being said, we're going to end it here. Thanks for coming over. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. And as always,
Plan.
prepare.
Practice.
We're out.